Okay. Have you got anything coming out now, Damien? Yeah, give us the big thumbs up. Zakia, could you give us a quick shout? And is there a mic over by you? Iona, give us some. What do you have for breakfast?
Weetabix, 3.
3. Wow. What kind of milk?
Almond milk.
Oh,
don't
we're
have regular.
going to talk about that a little bit later. All right.
Grove.
Portobello Talk Radio, the official state broadcaster of the People's Republic of North Kensington, where the truth comes first. The future is yet to be written.
Yes, that is welcome from us here at Portobello Radio. That little sting there is a nod, of course, to Joe Strummer. The future is unwritten.
Amazing.
We had a fantastic day out with all the Strummer crew last Saturday. We'll be talking about that. For the first half of the show, we're welcoming Zakia. Hi.
Hello, yes. Me and my mum
house.
got our calendars a bit confused this week, so we're kind of splitting the time, so she'll be here in like an hour or so.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Wicked.
So we split the sessions this month.
Yeah, man. Sounds
I'm
great.
Piers Thompson.
I'm Greg Weir.
And we have Iona and Justine with us. We have Gracie with us. We got Stephen Howie.
Stevie Howie in the
hey.
house.
And we've got
all
our
sorts.
generous host, Damien.
Yay.
And the lovely lady who
yeah,
is
man.
our videographer. So if you want to see what we look like, good luck with that. Get onto YouTube,
Yeah, man.
search for Portobello Radio. It's on the Muse Film account, but
Brilliant.
Portobello Radio will get you there faster. We've got lots to talk about this show. There's lots of new things going on, but there has, I'm afraid, been quite a lot of tragedy. We're going to talk about 2 people right from this very street, pretty much.
Oh,
But
good.
first off, Marianne Faithfull died this week.
No, her as well.
Absolutely, the
I
girl
didn't
on
hear
a
that.
motorcycle.
Yeah, man.
She is so legendary and so iconic for her beauty, for her voice, for her heroin addiction, for her coming back from heroin addiction, for her songs. She brought out an album in the late 70s, which was her kind of comeback from the smack attack, and it had one of the greatest songs of all time on it.
The morning sun touched lightly on the eyes of Lucy Jordan in a white suburban bedroom in a white suburban town. As she lay there neath the covers, dreaming of 1,000 lovers, till the world turned to orange and the room went spinning round. At the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. So she let the phone keep ringing, and she sat there softly singing little notes he was off to work, and the kids were off to school, and there were oh so many ways for her to spend a day. She could clean the house for hours, or rearrange the flowers, or naked through the shady street, screaming all the way. At the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. So she let the phone keep ringing as she sat there softly singing pretty nursery rhymes she'd memorized in her daddy's easy chair. The evening sun touched gently on the eyes of Lucy Jordan on the rooftop where she climbed when all the laughter grew too loud. And she bowed and curtsied to the man who reached and offered her his hand, and he led her down to the long white car that waited past the crowd. At the age of 37, she knew she'd found forever as she rode along through Paris with the warm wind in her hair.
Yeah, that is the Ballad of Lucy Jordan from the album Broken English by Marianne Faithfull. Rusty Egan was on the social media talking about how big that album was down at the Blitz there in 1979. Marianne Faithfull, if any of you have heard of the Rolling Stones bust at Redlands, which was Keith Richards' place down in Chichester, Marianne Faithfull was the one dressed only in a fur coat. And
I
there
like
was
that.
a whole lot of shenanigans about a Mars bar, which got the entire nation overexcited for 3 or 4 months.
Fortunately, I'm far too young for any of that.
No.
Me and you both.
Yeah, man, you know it. You know it. It just sounds salacious at best.
That is salacious, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, read all about it. So we have... Welcome, Zakia.
Hello.
Sorry, I was going to go on to mention the 2 other people who've died, but I think we'll leave that.
We'll leave
for
that for a
moment.
bit. Let's try and get happy first, and then we can bring everyone down in a
We're
bit.
awaiting the arrival of Michael Speechley,
Oh, is he
a
still gonna
really
turn up?
old colleague of ours,
Yeah, man.
who he first came to prominence as the visuals guy at Shoom, the
Shoom,
very
man.
first
If-
acid house club in
Exactly.
London.
If you're an acid house head, then you know exactly what we're on about there. Yeah, man.
And
Down
his
on-
visuals there ended up in the V&A.
Did they? I never saw that one.
Sitting
I
in
never
the
saw
basement,
that
I
one.
think, next to some of Charlie Phillips' photographs. But
Yeah.
yeah, they were bought by the V&A.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Michael's he's a real all-rounder, apart from being, one of the great visual artists, VJs. I mean, we've done an event with him with the Westway Trust and
Yeah.
the film festival, and he was actually building the stage. You know?
Yeah. True.
He-
We've done quite a lot with him actually over
Yeah.
the years. But what's his current project?
He is, well, as some of you may know, the Muse has a couple of outposts. Or one is an inpost up in Camden in Gray's Inn Road by Chancery Lane, and the other one is an outpost, definitely an outpost. It's in Brentford, rather gorgeously by the river.
Isn't it spectacular? By the 8. I can't remember what the 8's called.
It's not Chiswick, is it?
No, I don't think so.
No, because that was a bit nearer Hammersmith.
Could be Brentford 8 or something. But anyway, 8's are little islands that sit in the middle of the River Thames.
EYOT.
Wow. Get you. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, yeah, man, it's spectacular because you sort of look out of the back of the building and you look across a very small piece of water before you then hit the island, and then you can see beyond the island is the massive expanse of the River Thames.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man,
That
it's
mighty
gorgeous.
river.
Yeah, man, loads of
Flows
boats,
through
lots
this
of
great city.
quite a bohemian community down there. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Love it. Love it.
Anyway, they're doing something called B.8 tomorrow, which I think maybe something to do with Brentford 8.
Is the 8 spelled in the same way?
It is a
or
whole
it
load of
number 8?
VJs, audio artists. I know that Ethan Cohen, who's Speech Muse or Muse Speech.
Absolutely, he helped us out on the Sounds of Latimer
does
year
the
before
listening
last. now.
walks up and down the canal.
Yeah.
He's doing something there. So anyway, there's lots going on. It's in Brentford. Stephen, what were you saying? You take the tube South Ealing and it's 5 stops on the 65. Or cycle.
It could be 6, he's just said, yeah. Or cycle, indeed, absolutely. It's Brentford, it's just by the bridge there, isn't it? You know, it's a fantastic location. So the gig is, what is
We
it?
don't know. We're going to find out at 5 o'clock.
Oh, all right.
But
All right,
as a
okay.
kid, I did want to ask you, you just did a degree in film and visual studies. Was there much video art in that, or was it more movies, films, kind of beginning, middle, and end stuff?
We looked at anything, so it was a film and screen, so we looked at everything that was film and anything that was screen as well. So obviously with the way that technology is, screens are, on your phone, or you can do 3D visuals on, a white wall or canvas, and so there's many ways that you can show your film and art, basically. So when we did our final project last year, we could incorporate different added values to our different film screening exhibitions. So my group chose to incorporate music and photography because we thought it would, go with the vibe, and other people do Q&As and things like that. But it was a great course because it was quite up to date with the times that we're living in. So we did look at, the current technology we're using and where film and screen is going and how it's changed so much from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and so on and so forth.
Wow, what an education!
What an
Amazing.
education!
But you also did the old school stuff as well in order to know where it all came from.
So we did all the theory-based stuff,
Yeah.
the history of cinema and all of that kind of it was good. It was really nice. It was a really well-rounded. Kind of course, and then we got a bit of curation in there as well, so it expanded into different areas of film, not just just filming and directing, so that we could all get an idea of the different aspects. So
amazing.
Just in case one doesn't go well avenue, you've got other ones that you can explore and see where your talents lie.
Yeah, man. Could I ask where you took the course?
UAL.
Ah,
the
brilliant.
LCC building.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. What an
Yeah.
amazing establishment. Brilliant.
So,
Absolutely brilliant.
Good 3 years.
Superb. Yeah, man. Yeah, and that was a degree, or
BA degree.
nice, nice work. Absolutely, well, spectacularly good of you to complete the course. 'Cause that's
honestly.
part of it. That is part of it, is getting through the whole 3 years. But then, fantastic of you to actually absorb it all and come away with a much more expanded brain.
Which was I'm kind of happy. Obviously, you're a bit older, you have a bit more experience, so sometimes you feel like there's not much to learn. But I actually did learn a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just added to my experience and my life, kind of.
And how fabulous you're now working with us at Portobello Radio, and you're getting to meet all these brilliant filmmakers. We've got
And
Portobello
creatives
Film Festival coming up.
Exactly, so
at
it's
the end
great.
of summer. We've got all kinds of events that go off in here. It's not only canvases on the wall here and sculptures. We do occasionally do some visual art stuff, and it looks like this gig in Brentford on Saturday is going to be this kind of visual art.
I think you'll find it's definitely visual art.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Bloody brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Now, here's a man I think is playing at Coco next month.
I like it.
My people, dark brown shade of my skin, only art color to my tears, that splash against my hollow bones, that rocks my soul. Looking back over my past dreams that I once knew, wondering why my dreams never came true. Somebody tell me what can I do? Ah, yeah.
Something is holding me back.
Holding me back.
Is it because I'm black?
Yeah, in this world of no pity, I was raised in the ghetto of the city. Hey.
Mama, she works so hard to earn every penny. Something is holding me back.
Holding me back.
Is it because I'm black?
Is it because I'm black? Yeah, something is holding me back.
Is it because I'm black?
Yeah. Tell me, it's because of my color. Something is holding me back.
Like a child stealing his first piece of candy, got caught.
Wandering round life's corner, somewhere I got lost.
Something is holding me back. Is it because I'm black?
I wanna know, yeah.
Something is holding me back.
People,
Is it because I'm black?
tell me, can't you see?
Somebody, please tell me. Is it because I'm black?
Is it because of my color? Hey,
Yeah, that is the amazing Ivorian singer Tiken Jah Fakoly, and he is actually playing at Coco tonight, Friday the 31st.
So if you listen to Rewind on Saturday or Sunday, then
Bad
you
luck.
missed it.
yeah, and if we're not concentrating, it's because we're desperately trying to blag ourselves tickets right now.
I love the royal we in that one as well. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yes. Piers is doing it, and he's rinsing out the name Portobello Radio to try and achieve it, which is not such a bad plan.
No, the more I think you'll find at Portobello Radio now we have an arts department who on multiple lists, getting into any private views at the Serpentine and all sorts of places.
I love it. Absolutely
All
love it.
down to partly to Isis, but mainly to Joy.
Oh,
who has
Sister
been,
Joy.
Sister Joy has been very assiduous in going and checking out all the exhibitions. Talking of exhibitions, you went to the same show that Isis went to see. Are you ready to tell us about that?
Yeah, so the artist was a South African non-conforming gender, non-gender conforming, non-binary. They them.
Yeah.
Their name, I'm gonna butcher it, so I feel really bad. Zeneda Mahula. I don't even know.
Yeah, I've just butchered Tiken Jah Fakoly. So.
Yeah.
Chicken
But no,
Jaffa
it
Coley.
was
I
really
love
amazing. It was really amazing. So I went with Grace. It was at the Tate Modern.
Amazing.
So yeah, it was really powerful.
Yeah.
There was about 7 rooms, and when you go in, there was a QR code that you could scan, and it would open up to this page, and each room had like a song that you could like listen to.
Oh,
it was playing out
cool.
the speakers, but when you kind of immerse yourself into it, it made it even more
Wearing
powerful.
headphones or whatever, yeah.
And then each room was like named after a body part as well. So there was a room like the glands and something, and then another room. But it was amazing. It's ended now, but it was really, really powerful.
Good.
So the next.
Was it traumatic? I mean, I think Grace said that she
the
welled
first
up
room,
at one point.
The first room was very brutal. It was basically trigger warning. It's about sexual abuse, but basically people in South Africa that are conforming gender or non-binary or
Whatever you wanna
queer
call it.
and all of that. When there's when they've been sexually assaulted, it because of their gender or their sexual orientation, it's not classed as the same. So in the room, it was photos of people that had been abused and then arrested. So you could see like the marks on their body and things like that. So it was really rough. And when you listen to it with the music, it was really eerie as well. But it was powerful at the same time. And then there was another room. The second room was like pictures. It was called Faces and Phases. So they took a photo, but twice of the same person, and had the photos like next to each other to show how their faces are changing through the phases of their life.
Before and after kind of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really.
Over what kind of period?
Did I
5
take
years,
a
10
photo?
years?
I think a few years, but I don't want to say exactly and get it all wrong. I feel like I did take a photo, but I can't find it. But it was really good.
You can never find the photo when you want it.
Right, never. And then then there was a room about South Africa's history from like 1950 up until like 2020.
Yeah. Apartheid started in 48.
Yeah, so it was really good. So
there's a delivery man outside. Just come on in, mate.
So yeah, I think the next one I want to see at the Tate is at the Tate Britain. It's photos from the 80s.
Yep.
So I think me and Grace are going to go to that one. So in the next few months, so we can come back and talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. You guys get about.
Yeah, well, we're trying to. I feel like I want to, immerse myself in more things.
Yeah. London's a big place. If you suddenly went to New York, or I'm going to Seoul again in 6 weeks' time. You every moment of every day you're out seeing stuff that the city has to offer, and we're sitting here on our fat arses
in the
in West
epicenter
London.
of some wonderful culture, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Which is probably a good moment to give out another shout to the Muse residents. Just to recap for the 100th time, the Muse every year supports 3 artists just out of art college, their first steps into the big bad world. And last week we talked to 2 of them. We talked to Lucas Lysinger, and we also talked to Kirti Virmani.
Wow, both amazing artists already, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sitting in front of one of Kirti's pieces, which is this kind of slightly Rothko-esque, slightly kind of Pol Pot-ish silk, rather beautiful.
This piece is amazing.
And then over there we've got some kind of stuff that's based on some of the masters, some of the Dutch masters, kind of 17th century, I think.
Both of which we discussed last
twisted.
week, man. Yeah, and then down the end of the room we've got some fluffy ball. I'm dying to chat to the third member of the team who might have made the fluffy ball.
I think Virtue.
Oh, that's another Virtue moment.
I think Kirti.
Kirti, yeah.
Damien, was it Kirti who made the ball?
The big fluffy ball.
Did Kirti make the big ball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
She's
there is
amazing.
another artist called Man Mai To, who I think may come from a bit further east than we are right now.
Absolutely.
But anyway, he or she is back in March, so we're not going to meet them for a little while, 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, man.
But that is something to look forward to. And we urge you to come and see this show. It's on for another 10 days, I think, till the 9th of February.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Anyway, the artists have this show. They had a previous group show.
Yeah.
They were chosen from that group show. They've moved in this week to the back. Lucas was telling me he's just finished his first picture in the back.
Amazing. It's a great opportunity for the guys to sort of have themselves a little bit of their own studio space and then and create stuff to then display here in the front of the building. So yeah, man, what an amazing project. What an absolutely amazing project it is every single year. Thanks to the Muse Gallery.
Thanks to the Muse Gallery. Anyway, sorry, I just realised I can't play this because it's featuring Sean Paul.
Oh, yeah.
And then the one below it is Mick Artistic's Jimmy Savile. So I'm.
Wow, I kind of want that. I want that because we love Mick. We haven't had Mick on the show in a good couple of years.
Can we play that?
Yeah, of course we can.
Right.
Yeah, man,
This
definitely.
is Mick Artistic's Ego Trip with his biggest song, which suddenly the subject of the song went and was blown up all over the place, and he was no longer able to play. Anyway, Jimmy Savile mixed my album.
Lord of mercy. Jingle jangle. Jimmy Savile got my album. He was going to fix it for me. Jimmy Savile had my album. He was gonna fix it for me. Artistic, now it's down to me. Big man, 6'11", tall as a tree, massive lad, big lad. Saturday night in an Otley wine bar, we'd been playing to a crowd of 3. Then I saw him over in the corner, a silver-haired man in a black string vest with a big gold chain, wearing shades, a big cigar and a glamorous lady. I went over to him, I said, "Hello, Jim," and I shook his hand, because he's a living legend. Jimmy Savile got my album. He was going to fix it for me. Jimmy Savile, he had my album. He was gonna fix it for me. Artistic, and now it's down to me. What a man, what a man. Massive, 6'3". He could stand in his socks. He could see out the roof. There was a hole in the roof. He could see the trees, he could see the sky. What a massive man. What a rock. He said, "Young man, I'm going to forgive you for being better looking than me." Then off he went into the night with his big cigar and his glamorous lady. I felt a surge of power from being so close to a living legend. Jimmy Savile had my album. He was going to fix it for me. Jimmy Savile, he got my album. He was gonna fix it for me. Artistic, and now it's down to me. Johnny Cash, Jimi Hendrix, big fellas. Johnny Cash, what a man. Man in black, big rockin' and rolling man. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. What a man. Last word. And then I remembered, and I thought, why not? I ran back to my bag, I got a CD out, ran out into the street, and I crossed the road. Just as Jimmy was reaching his car, I held out my CD, and then he said, "Is it pornographic?" I shook my head. Well, I have it back then, but he took it anyway, and off he went with his glamorous lady. Jimmy Savile had my album. He was going to fix it for me. Jimmy Savile, he had my album. He was gonna fix it for me. Artistic, now it's down to me. You let me down, Jimmy. You let me down, lad.
Yeah, you let us all down, Jimmy, frankly. That was Mick Artistic. Great friend of this show, comes from up north and used to be, still is, a big favourite on the festival scene. Zakia, so what have you been up to?
I've just been kind of applying for jobs and prepping for this some meetings that I've got next week at the town hall that I don't really want to get into, but yeah.
Are they Maxilla City meeting?
Yeah, so overview and scrutiny meeting.
Tear down that fence, as they used to say in the 60s and 70s in Powys Square.
So
Tear down that fence.
It's just been a lot of admin work, to be honest, which is not too bad considering the weather's been a bit cold out here. So yeah, but it's been a good week. Looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah. So it's funny you should mention, or I should mention, Maxilla City, because one of the big things that's happening round here, starting on Monday, goes on for about 2 weeks, is it's round 4 of the Grenfell Projects Fund. The Grenfell Projects Fund is something that came out of the fire, obviously, and speaking as trustee of Youth Action Alliance, it's supported the One Heart Festival for many years. It's supported the 24 Heart stuff, you know, the carnival artworks which they do on Maxilla Gardens. Anyway, Portobello Radio has got through to the public vote. It's a little bit strictly.
Pop, 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 pop,
Whoop,
pop.
whoop.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you
Right,
know
so-
what? In the past, we haven't kind of got through, have we? Which is a
No,
bit of a
we
weird one.
it's had a checkered history, this thing. The very
Yeah.
first one they did, the public vote was supposedly
Oh, was that
at
KAA?
It was a
'Cause
KAA.
I was there for that one. That
It
was
was
terrible.
brutal chaos.
That
They
was one of
got
the
about-
worst things I've ever. I said, who even thought this would be a good idea? It was terrible, these voter things, and then people were voting for their friends, and it was so unfair, and it was just complete shambles.
And they
I
only
can't even
got
lie.
through like 10%
Yeah.
of the entire program.
Yeah, it was,
They
it
did.
was
And
ridiculous.
it ended up with loads of angry people. Anyway, the process so far is that everyone put in their applications. They went to this combination of the officers and the North Ken residents panel, whoever they are. We actually asked them to come on the show this afternoon
Okay.
to kind of rah before the big public vote, which starts on Monday,
And?
to actually tell us, give us transparent view of what's, how we got here in the first place.
Yeah.
Anyway, unfortunately, the people from the council are all on holiday till Monday. In fact, some of them are on holiday till Tuesday. So we weren't really able to get you any definitive answers because we've had a lot of people asking, who's this residents panel? How's the process worked up till now?
Etc., etc.
Anyway, Portobello Radio is in the hat starting Monday.
Yeah.
We've put in a proposal for something we actually piloted with Maxilla City and yourself, Zakir. We have put in for a series of once a month. This show would really go out to the people, so it would become more like question time.
Okay, nice.
So
Yeah.
we'd
We
have-
kind of did one in on the green, didn't we?
Yeah, that
Was
was
it Kieran?
activating
Was it
our
Kieran Bashir?
spaces.
We got on-
And
No,
Taysha?
reclaiming our spaces in
Reclaim,
2022.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
with
man.
Bay 20 outside.
And we got on the local news, didn't we? That was quite
Yeah,
fun.
That was it. That was a really good event. I think it was really nice. I think for the public just to see the people and kind of be
Yeah,
there
part of
and
the show and
engage,
ask
yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
It was good.
So we've put in for a series of 12 of those to take place. I think it's going to start in April. Loftus was in here earlier and suggested
The Rotten Hill guys at the window giving us the big V's. Love them. Love them. Brilliant.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Strummer thing again in a minute. But vote for us is really what we're
Yes,
trying
vote for
to
us,
say.
vote for us.
Guys,
for us. Come
vote
on, guys.
Portobello Radio. You know
I
it.
Best,
don't-
we're the
You know
best.
it.
I don't know
Yeah.
how many of you need to vote for us, but we will be doing something that will come right out into the community. It will involve as many people who want to get involved. We will be in Latimer, we'll be in Portobello, we'll be in Colville, we'll be
We have
in
been going
Grove.
for nearly 10 glorious years, and we've proven over those years that we are a definite advocate for the community. We are deep in the community already. We have all of our connections established. I mean, you'd be lunatics not to vote for Portobello Radio on a project like this. It's basically about helping the legacy of Grenfell and helping the loved ones and families come to terms with it, and helping the local community, try and fathom some peace within their minds about that tragic night in 2017. So it's a great cause. The money will be going in the right direction if you vote for Portobello Radio on this one, man. So yeah, if you're localised, then please do vote for Portobello Radio. And if you're not localised, then maybe just send an email to the... who do they send it to? Is it part of the council? Is it the Grenfell?
No, I mean, I think it's a
Memorial
vote.
Fund,
Like I
or-
said, we wanted to be able to bring you the full facts about how we got to where we are, who's allowed to vote.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I mean, most of us around the table have probably had a leaflet, have we?
No, I haven't.
Telling us about it.
Oh, that green.
Yeah,
I got one in my.
there's, they're going to be.
It's weird. And whereabouts do you live?
I
No,
live-
I'm not asking you to do that, but you're Norland, right?
No,
yeah.
The Norland
okay.
Wall. But
Well,
I've
yeah.
seen them at my friend's house. I went to theirs the other day, and they live in a flat just not too far from Portobello, and
Yeah.
there was them in the pigeonholes of the.
Really?
the
Interesting.
tenants
Yeah,
kind of
no, we
thing, so-
just north of the, just east of the Portobello Road, haven't had any of that kind of behaviour going on.
Right,
so,
well, there's.
there's maybe that's the cut-off
there
point, the
is-
Portobello Road.
There's more.
Everybody east of the Portobello Road doesn't really matter, even though they did experience the fire the same as everybody else. Who knows? Who knows?
Right, well, there's more news actually from the area within 500 meters of the tower,
well, that's
which
relevant.
we can come up with in a minute.
Okay.
Vote Portobello Radio.
Yeah, man, not half. Got to be done.
This one goes out to Billy Idol.
I love Portobello Radio.
Yeah, that is Nightmares on Wax. B.I. Do. The reason we gave a shout out to Billy Idol, That is ideally is because
I was going to make sure that people knew that he is our most adorable brother from up Manxville. We do love our Mancunian cousins, and he is one of the bestest in the entire universe. We do love Billy Idol. Yeah, man.
we got great news from Stephen Howie, which
him.
is that some of you may remember about 4 weeks ago we had an amazing duo called Reem.
Yeah.
Reem Martin.
Yeah.
It was Reem and her fiance. Did we announce their engagement on air?
Yeah, we did on
Possibly
air.
yeah.
On air, we announced that they were engaged. Absolutely, it was. And they played spectacularly. They came in with a keyboard and.
Anyway,
he
their
played
record's coming
guitar
out.
And yay! So we have the same cut that we did live here in the studio. They've actually mastered it in a proper grown-up
I
studio.
wonder if it'll be as good as the
And
live version.
I reckon it might even be a tad better. Without the ambiance, because it was really cool having a young lady in the room who was like bang at the keys. We loved it. It was so good.
Because we never talk about your live engineering, do we? Because you've had to engineer all sorts of things in the 10 years that Paul Bit of Radio
You're
has
right.
been
You're
going.
right. I mean, thankfully, I do have wonderful people like Tiernan on the team, and he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant when it comes to.
You're talking
big-
about working on Bright Side of the Road, the Irish
the
show.
Irish show. Occasionally,
Where
we get
sometimes
Tiernan,
we've got 4 or 5 acoustic instruments.
yeah.
All amazing, and you want to give them all justice, but you also want to hear the voice.
Absolutely. So again, it's a bit of a balancing act being behind all the knobs.
Anyway, how was it last week with the Rotten Hill game?
Well, it was muddy as hell. No, it was all right. Once we got them sorted. They were also, they do this spectacular thing, and I saw them do this at the Trellick Festival last year as well.
We're talking about now the Strummer Legacy Stone.
Yes, indeed. But I suppose what I'm doing is I'm drawing reference to the fact that this is one situation that any engineer out
gone
there
on too long.
will accept. Well, what happens is you level off all the microphones, but one of the rappers / singers / spitters decides that their microphone isn't loud enough, so they quickly swap it with their band member. Now, you've got the desk nailed for what they're about to do, and half a second before they start the performance, they've swapped mics. And that is the most annoying thing that anybody could do to any desk engineer. Rotten Hill Gang, gotta love them, did it at least 4 times throughout their set. And it was like, just talk on the mic, bruv, and I will find the level for
That's
you.
what like New Candy or.
But it's like no patience
would
whatsoever. Well, kind of. I just want a rifle at that moment.
They are.
It's
they
just
do
like, I do not want you
Boyzone.
on my stage anymore because I give you a microphone, you hang on to that mic, I'll get your levels right and we're all good to go. But don't let me get the levels right and then you switch with your mate, so then I've got to re-level off 2 different mics again. Do you know what I mean? And we went round and round in circles. I was fighting with leveling off the microphones as they decided to swap it. So I love the Rotten Hill Gang, but please don't ever do that to me again, man. That was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Anyway, they finished off this fantastic day. I mean, if you were listening last week, you'll have heard from Chris Salovitz, Joe Strummer's biographer, and Richard Dudansky,
Who
his
was
fellow
brilliant.
squatter.
Richard
and
came all the way over from Spain for that interview and to do the unveiling of the stone. I couldn't believe it, man. Absolutely couldn't believe it. It was great.
as you will have heard from them, we celebrated Joe Strummer's life. He started his musical career just there by Maida Hill Market. I mean, a bit further away actually, at 101 Waterton Road. It's a squat, was now been knocked down and is part of Wetch, the new.
Did Wetch take over those buildings when they were
Wetch,
rebuilt?
yeah.
Ah, brilliant. Wetch is a housing association, a housing cooperative.
It's a housing cooperative,
Yeah.
which is not the bad guys. It's one of the few.
It's one of the few that is a proper cooperative, yeah, man.
Another great friend of
Not
this
an
show,
estate agent.
Dave Little, who would have done a lot of the graphics at the same time as Michael Speechley was doing the visuals
yeah.
in the late 80s acid scene.
Yeah.
Dave Little is now a board member of Wetch.
No
Little-known
way.
fact, yeah.
Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely?
So we had a lovely day. We played a lot of Clash and Mescalero songs.
Yay.
We had speeches from Gordon
Gordon
McHarg,
McHarg,
who
yeah,
used to
man.
have the Joe Strummer Subway, the
Yeah.
Subway Gallery. There was Richard Dudansky,
Of
who
course.
squatted there.
Yeah, man.
with
He got a bit
Joe.
tearful. He got
He
quite
tearful
emotional.
on the radio.
Yeah, bless him. What a soft soul. I love him. Brilliant.
Yeah, you
Absolutely
had
brilliant.
Julian Udall, who'd taken a lot of the pictures that we've posted over the last 2 weeks of Joe in that early kind of almost rockabilly phase.
Yeah.
And we had Dylan White, who I don't quite know where he fits in, but I think he's a great friend of Lucinda, Joe's widow, and I think they worked together with Gordon on the archive.
Yeah.
And releasing.
And Lucinda was there.
She was there.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely
So
brilliant.
it
What a
was
turnout.
Very, very nice. And we had a little drummer sing-along at the end.
We did, absolutely. Redemption Songs is now indelibly stamped on my brain again. I thought I got rid of that one for a few years, but
No,
no.
you
Give
never
me
wanna
another
get rid of that.
campfire and a guitar, and I'll get those lyrics straight every time, man. You know that one. No, absolutely brilliant. It was a great event. It was funded by Westminster City Council, who very sweetly, apparently it was a bit unusual for them to give props to anyone, but they actually, the second last line of their article on the Westminster City Council website actually said Portobello Radio on it. It's like, oh, wow.
Well, we did keep the show on the
We
road.
did,
There's no
yeah.
doubt about that.
Yeah, man. No, but it was good. It was really
Yeah,
No,
I was-
good turnout.
Yeah,
Really,
it
loads
was,
of
wasn't it?
people.
Yeah.
No, you passed through on your way.
Yeah, I was going to visit someone, and when I googled where it was, I was like, oh, I know
And
this
literally
square. I
there.
walk through this square all the time, so I was like, yeah, let me just cut
man.
through and see what I go on with the vibes, and the vibes
Yeah.
were vibing.
They were
Vibes
vibing, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I
Yeah.
thought that everyone knew what Maida Hill Market was.
No, I don't want to tell people what I call it, the crackhead square.
It used to be,
yeah,
didn't
that's how that's what it's known to me. Like every time I walk past, there's a bag of man drinking, a bag of man smoking, a bag of man doing something, a few man talking to themselves, and then a few man playing dominoes, and it's always been like that.
They've
so,
got
yeah.
a permanent dominoes table
Yeah,
now
as they
glued
should,
to
though.
the paving
As
stones.
they
It's
should.
brilliant.
I love
Absolutely
it, man.
brilliant.
That's like
Yeah.
that's the community. That's where they hang out, and obviously when you're retired, life is a bit slower, so you need things to do and keep
know that.
yourself
You
motivated
know
and
that.
moving and
Yeah,
whatnot.
man.
So
You see, all those old boys and girls that hang around down there at the Maida Hill Market used to hang around in the pubs, but of course they closed all the pubs down, so then they hung out in the bookies. The bookies wouldn't have them anymore, so kicked them out the bookies, so they ended up on the square. The square wouldn't have them
And
anymore.
they remember to
and
dash them
round
out,
and round in
yeah.
circles. So at the end of the day, although you might sort of refer to it as Cracky Square or whatever, it was just for the old people to hang out
I
somewhere
just
and chat
I
to
just
each
say
other,
that
you
because
know?
when you're younger,
Yeah.
everyone just looks a bit off key, innit?
Of
Until you get a bit older, like I can't like you're walking
So
through there, and there's a
true.
man with a can. You're right, and I'm like.
yeah. Wow. Brilliant.
But I do
Absolutely
I do love the square. I even got caught lacking out there one time. I love it, man.
Yeah,
It's cool.
me
Cool
too.
vibes.
Very cool vibes indeed. So we had a rocker, an absolute classic. Did you turn up, Gracie? I can't remember.
Where? Turn up where?
Last Saturday.
No,
Ah.
I was in the countryside.
Our roving reporter was in the
Yeah.
countryside, riding
Sorry,
horses,
dude.
milking cows. What were you up to in the countryside?
I was just with my friend. My friend came out of a weird situation. I'm not going to say personal
No, of
reasons.
course. You were giving a bit of support. Well
But,
done, you, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was wholesome.
Wholesome.
Nice,
You
wholesome.
go for like hikes and walks
Yeah,
and stuff.
man. A bit of
No,
fresh
I
air.
didn't
Lovely.
do that. I didn't
Absolutely
do
lovely.
that.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
cooking
yeah.
for the first
Brilliant.
time.
Yeah.
For the
Oh,
first
wicked.
time.
Nice. Well done.
It was
What? Making
nice.
porridge?
No, no. I was actually making spaghetti bolognese.
Spag bowl.
Yeah.
Love a
Good
good
spag
spag
bowl.
bowl, man. Love a good
Salty.
spag
Especially in the
bowl.
winter.
Yeah.
No, don't.
yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
vegan.
Well, you can make it with vegan stuff as well.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
can do
Soya spag bowl,
walnuts
quite
and stuff,
groovy.
or you can.
Quite
I've seen
groovy.
different versions of it. So it works. It
Yeah,
works.
It works.
I worry about
Brilliant.
all the ultra-processed food in your vegetarian diet.
Yeah, no, you're
Tracy.
right. There is ultra-processed foods going
All over it.
in with certain faux
Like
meats.
the fake meats and
Yeah.
stuff, but you can make a bolognese like blending up walnuts and other things. I've seen it online, and
Get
because
you.
the walnuts are kind
Yeah,
of thicker.
man.
Don't watch
I'm
that. I watch
obsessed with-
videos
I'm
online. I
obsessed
know
with
how to
pasta
do
at the
things.
moment.
No, but like
Brilliant.
there's ways of like making fake meat alternatives without having to use like the soy protein and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
but that's if you're willing to then do the process and actually preparing it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, that's what it's all about. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, well done with your culinary skills, your newly acquired culinary skills. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'll have,
Thank
to,
you.
have to get you in my kitchen.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should do a Portobello Radio like potluck or something.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. MasterChef Portobello Radio style.
my
Something
God.
will come down with me kind of
man.
vibes. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll figure it
man.
out. We'll figure it out.
But all we need is a couple of microphones and a kitchen. So anybody out there's got a
Well,
kitchen big enough for four of us. Happy
We have
days.
done now a couple of podcasts down there at Nourish.
Nourish
the
is a good
Nourish
one.
Hub.
Oh, yeah, they're really
talking
cool.
about
Yeah, yeah.
nutrition and talking about food waste
Yeah.
with our partners, the Mayor of London and our other partner, Imperial College London.
Amazing. Absolutely
We
amazing.
like to hang with the establishment.
We certainly do. We
whenever possible.
certainly do, man.
We got distracted. We were talking about the fact that someone was on this show just the other day, and they've got their record out.
And
you're going to play it now. Have we given you enough time to?
Reamy, Reamy. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm going to let Mr. Stephen Howie introduce this one,
Right.
and while I just pop it on me platter.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thomas, who I've known for many years, I went to see him yesterday. He mixed it and emailed it to me same day. I put it on memory stick, and it is wonderful.
Wow.
So you're the plugger.
Obviously, he's the plugger.
Yeah?
Wicked.
That's what Dylan White was. He was
Wonderful.
Joe's plugger.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Dylan White, who we had there last Saturday. Amazing.
That's how he
Absolutely
fitted
amazing.
in. Yeah. Sorry,
got
Dylan,
you.
if you're listening. I do apologise.
All good, all good. Let's have a listen to Reem and see what we reckon about this one. As I said, if you tune into the show regularly, then you would have heard her playing this live. But here we go. We're going to get it on the 1s and 2s studio style. Love it. Absolutely love it. Over to me. Amazing.
No, I don't wanna say it. I just wanna be it. I don't wanna use my words to explain my actions. I just want your love, nothing but your love. Your equal attraction. And I thought of the different ways we'd make it a better place. Make it a better place. It's everything or nothing. Out the door with a bang. I'll take it how it is. Take it how it is. Sometimes you get what you take. Sometimes you get what you take. No, I don't wanna say it. I know I can give it up. I just wanna stay long enough. I just want your love, nothing but your love.
Right, that was Turn Up for the Books. That was the end of that tune. Stephen, what was that about? That was definitely cut off sooner than we expected.
Yeah, but you know, it's a voice you can.
Basically, he mixed it very briefly, so it didn't. It's 2 minutes 20 seconds, so I assume the song goes on a bit longer. But hey ho. Anyway, she's playing live at the Seabright Arms in March with a full band, and then again for a recording at the Seabright Arms in March. And she's very, very talented.
Isn't she? Amazing. A voice you can fall in love with, and that's what we love about her. Bro, absolutely bro. Maybe Reem will come back with most adorable, what's his name, Martin? Thomas, that's the one. I don't know. Yeah, Thomas, and they can do another little duet together live in the studio. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Thomas Fique, you spoke to him in French.
Yeah.
I do that from time to time. You're right. You're absolutely right. Très bien, as they say là-bas.
And in fact, someone else who was on the show recently and played with us last Saturday at the Strummer Legacy Stone unveiling, Philip Rambo.
Oh, brilliant. Love Phil
has
Rambo.
just released a second single
from
his
the album that he signed for me. Come on.
Yeah, he premiered it on this show.
He
Motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Motherfuckers.
Well, I kind of corrected that because this is a family show now.
Is it?
Well, maybe not. Maybe people are wise after 10 years not to let their children listen to it.
Yeah.
Which is just as well. But it's live and direct from the Portobello Road, your most fabulous marketplace. It's a bit empty at the moment because it's been raining all day.
Yeah. All right, we're going to play the Commodores now, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about a really great old friend of ours who passed away this week.
Oh.
Still kind of in shock about it.
We all are. Yeah, man.
Rabina Rose.
Yay, Rabina, we miss you, baby, already.
Oh yeah, she was a legend, man. I used to see her on the bike all the time.
You know this.
Just such a sweet lady, so yeah,
Wasn't
she'd
she?
definitely be missed.
Wasn't she? In such a quick demise. You know, we only sort of learnt about this a few weeks ago, that she was in a hospice, which means end of life care. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Most of us managed to get out there and see her. I didn't, sadly. But she's always in my thoughts, and I'll say a few prayers for her later. Yeah, man.
Yeah, especially when I walk past her house now.
Yeah, I
it
know.
feels a bit, because I walk up that road quite a lot,
It-
and I love her house. It stands out so much.
I think it was
as
her
well.
mum's house beforehand, so the
Yeah.
family have been in there for a few generations, man. I wonder what's going to happen now, you know. Hey, it's sorely missed. What a beautiful soul. What an absolutely amazing member of our community. We are gutted, properly gutted that she's left us.
Yeah, I first met Rabina probably in either the noughties or the early 10s when she was the Green candidate.
You know what? I met her
around
then.
here.
That was when exactly when I met her.
And, you know, she was a great friend of the Muse. We would always stand and chat. She's the next door neighbour of Molly Deneen,
Oh.
who was going to come in and talk about her today, but has been stuck looking after her mum in wherever it is.
Oh.
So,
Well, you know, big love to everybody who's out there looking after their parents, you know.
yeah.
It's,
I mean, the thing
it's a
about
noble thing.
Rabina is it's only now that she died. I mean, I was in the film business, but she was a major British filmmaker.
Who are we talking about? Molly?
Rabina.
Oh, Rabina.
Of the late 60s and
that,
early 70s.
That I did not
To
know.
the point that one of her films, Night Shift, was one of the featured restorations at the New York Film Festival last October.
No way.
And has been restored by
Yeah.
the BFI to a new 4K version.
Do you reckon that
that's
we
amazing.
So Rabina, I mean, she was one. How come we none
Let's
of us
try and
knew
organise
this?
showing that. Perhaps Damien will be up for projecting that one evening, and we can all just come
Well,
down here and light some candles
I
for
think
her.
it might be that it's going to go out on a kind of general release of some
Yeah,
sort.
I'm getting the thumbs up from the Muse Gallery.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe this is where the one way that we can pay tribute to such a gorgeous soul. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, it's not Night Shift. The film we're talking about was shot in about 1971. Shot over 5 days at the 1977. Shot over 5 days at the Portobello Hotel, the legendary hotel up there on Stanley Gardens.
That made famous by people like
Carly Simon, Johnny Depp, Kate Morris. I mean, other famous artists were the person who looked after the bar that was open all night. It's where Johnny Depp poured a bath full of champagne for Kate Moss.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Brilliant. Great stories. Great stories. I want to hang out with Johnny Depp.
Anyway, so
Yeah, me too.
Come on, champagne baths. What's wrong with that?
Rabina's film is it's shot over 5 days, and it is a whole load of artistic vignettes in the the Portobello Hotel. Shot by this guy Jonathan Juice with Jordan, the famous punk, the famous part of the Bromley contingent.
Okay.
You know, the shop assistant at Vivienne Westwood's Sex and Seditionaries and all the other
World's End.
that
Yeah.
and of course Jarman's Muse.
Mm.
So there you go.
You're great with the
Night
names.
Shift.
Your retention is just second to none, man. I think you're half elephant. Something like that. But you just seem to have a magic way of pulling these words out the sky. It's just like, oh my God.
Anyway, Rabina, we miss you, and we're going to find more and more ways to celebrate you, because apart from the person that I knew, there was a whole other person that now
We're beginning
need
to
learn
learn
more about.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, we'll find out what the arrangements are for her passing, and indeed we will try and get it together for a 9-night or something that involves projecting her amazing 1977 movie.
This is Night Shift by the Commodores.
Oh,
just
what a
'cause it's
tune. What a choice.
a great
Thank
tune.
you. Oh, this is going to make me weep, man.
and he could sing a song. His heart in every line. Marvin sang of the joy and pain. He opened up our mind, and I still can hear him say, oh, talk to me so you can see what's going on. Say you will sing your songs forevermore, evermore. Gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift. I bet you're singing proud. Oh, I bet you'll pull a crowd. Gonna be a long night. It's gonna be alright on the night shift. You found another home. I know you're not alone on the night shift. Oh, you found another home. I know you're not alone on the night shift. Jackie, hear what you're doing now. It seems like yesterday when we were working out. Jackie, oh, you set the world on fire. You came and gifted us. Your love, it lifted us higher and higher. Keep it up, and we'll be there at your side. Oh, say you will sing your song forevermore, evermore, evermore. Gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift. I bet you're singing proud. Oh, I bet you pull a crowd. Gonna be a long night. Gonna be a long night. Alright on the night shift. You found another home. I know you're not alone on the night shift. Gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift. Oh, on the night shift. I bet you're singing proud. Oh, you're singing proud. Oh, I bet you're full of pride. Oh, yeah. Gonna be a long night. It's gonna be alright on the night shift. On the night shift. You found another home. I know you're not alone.
Wow. Well, there you go. All of them looking down on us from above. We love
Yeah,
it.
night
Absolutely love
shift.
it. Yeah, man.
That is
Yeah.
going out to Rabina Rose, and we are going to find a fabulous way of celebrating.
Well,
you.
I just had a quick chat with the Muse Gallery. We've had thumbs up from all members of the team, and they are absolutely dead keen on us celebrating Rabina with a candle-lit cinema screening of that movie. So we've got to get looking for the movie. And if you're out there and you do kind of movie stuff, you know whereabouts we might be able to get hold of it. Then
Yeah,
love it.
well, in
Absolutely love
theory,
it.
the BFI have just restored it to 4K.
So could we get it from the BFI website? Well, I'm going to send the BFI an email, and we'll see
Yeah, we
whereabouts
can
we go from
contact
there.
them about the
Yeah.
license
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and just
Yeah.
see where they can go.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, there you go. Another angel in the stars looking down on us tonight. She was also an astrologer. I didn't know that. She's into her astrology. And, of course, this week has been the Planetary Parade.
When you say astrologer, you mean astronomer?
Do I?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. One reads cards about
one
when
is
you were
like-
born.
one
reading
is-
stars or reading
one is
star
mi- yeah.
signs?
One is-
Who knows?
One
No,
is,
who
one is
knows?
Mystic Meg, and
Yeah.
one is like Patrick Moore.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, in my world, they're all one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, cool, absolutely cool. So there you go. Planetary Parade. That's where I was going to go with that one and give you a bit of hippie stuff. And
Funny enough,
let you know that all of the planets in our solar system are available
we
for
have got
sight.
astronomy news, which is that we are once again going to be working this spring with Imperial College and
cool.
the other institutions
Nice.
on Exhibition Road.
Marvellous.
For the Great Exhibition Road Festival.
Which we're also part of. We're performing there, are we not, this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Get yourselves down there. We'll let you know in the closest date. It's going to be like mid-June or something.
7th and 8th
Oh, there you
of
go.
June.
Early June. I lie. False news.
Anyway, we do a series of podcasts with them.
Indeed.
And Imperial College had asked us if we could find a local astronomer who'd want to be part of one of these podcasts.
Oh, okay. Lovely.
I didn't realise I could have just gone straight to Rabina.
Yeah.
But we found one. Ben in Kensal Rise.
Ah,
so big shout out
masculine
if you're
astronomer.
listening.
Lovely. I'm pretty certain Rabina was astrologer, not a mer.
Right.
But there you go. I could be talking out of my bottom, which happens to be beneath my nose. Yeah. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Well, there you go. Another light has just slightly dimmed in our life, which is sad. Very, very sad. In the meantime, the hot seat has been swapped.
Yep.
And
Bye, Zakia.
Zakia has stepped to my right-hand side. And at the other end of the table,
It actually could come to pass.
Oh.
Before and after.
I like it. I kind of like it.
It could happen,
doing sort of
genetically and all of that.
Halfway. I like it. No, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And that is the voices, the dulcet tones of our most adorable Isis.
There's nothing dulcet about my tones, guys. Come on.
Dulcet means
No,
sweet.
Fresh.
Yeah, so
a
I think
fresh
sweet.
energy.
No, I think, lovely fresh energy. It's brilliant. Absolutely.
So, the other bit,
superb.
obviously, of big local news,
Yeah.
again revolving around Grenfell, is that the council have made their announcements about I can't remember what it's called, the Grenfell Support Fund, but this new...
Isn't it called the Grenfell Project Fund still?
No.
Is it a different one?
Sorry, I'm afraid
you've dealt with that one already, okay. All
this
right.
is the new one.
Rewind.
Started today, and this is... it's the council's attempt to make life better for those people living within 500 metres of the tower.
Uh-huh.
So what you get is we as someone who was there at the time of the fire, we are being given a £350, well-being grant or something.
Yeah.
So every household who was there at the fire,
or within a certain parameter of the tower, I'm guessing.
from 500 metres.
Yeah, 500 metres, there you go. Yeah.
So you'd be interested to know what that includes.
Sorry, how far is 500 metres for people who don't know?
Half a
right now?
kilometre.
What's that?
I'll tell you where it goes to.
Yeah, tell us where it goes to.
From the
Let's pop
tower. If you're going north, it goes to kind of Oxford Gardens, across. What's going on? Okay. It goes up towards Oxford Gardens. It goes down as far as Rabina's house, funny enough, would have been part of the 500-metre zone. We get
Does it
free...
go as far as St Clements and St James Primary School?
Yeah.
All right, we better get our grant then.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, you
they
really are...
don't, I mean,
Come on.
Come on.
You'll be on Facebook next giving away all your personal data. We get free membership of the leisure centre.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. So you got no
We
excuse for
also
turning up
get
smelly and unfit.
We got access to, I don't know, some kind of
It's just a look sometimes.
advocacy.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe it's a great thing. It's going to cost the council millions a year.
We don't mind the council spending money on North Kensington. It makes a change for them. In the old days,
No,
they
they
spent
spend
it
a
in the
fortune
south.
on North Kent now.
No, I know,
They
but in the old,
literally
but
do.
come on. Think about all the things that we endured. I mean, the motorway, for example. This area was always second best, and it was always mistreated and neglected until they thought they could make some money out of it, and hence Grenfell Tower and the cladding and the outsourcing, which ended up resulting in murder. So I think it's good they spend money on North Kensington.
Of course. There is growing scientific evidence that if you live close enough to the Westway, you actually suffer almost minimal pollution. And I'm hoping that I actually live close enough to the Westway to be in the kind of clean zone. I've spent my entire life I was brought up.
You were in the clean zone, but then you also had some
I
really...
was brought up on vegetables with DDT in them. I was brought up on Edith Grove, a thoroughfare.
But
With
what is the science?
4-star lead petrol.
Okay, that's
and
your
then
life
moved
story.
to North Ken, next
All right,
to
we've
the
heard your life
Westway.
story, Piers. What's the science?
If pollution killed,
What's the science,
if
brother?
pollution killed, it would have got me.
I was
What
going to
is the
say,
science?
why are you even alive?
Yeah, but what's the science? But if you're that
No
close to it,
sausage.
you don't get affected. But if you're further away from it, but still close enough,
It is
enough,
the idea that it kind of rolls over.
It rolls over.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because there is scientific evidence to say that children born within a certain, distance from that motorway have smaller lungs, and there's all this stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
obviously they're the ones that are unfortunately
Yeah.
getting the rollover. Should
Yeah.
we say? Aha.
Thank West rather than Silchester.
Bit of a NIMBY there, eh, Piers?
There's a lot of NIMBYism
Yeah,
going on in this room, I
mate.
tell
Yeah.
you. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. Wow, there you go. We've been to Grenfell twice today. What a weekend, I tell you. What a weekend.
Yeah. So it must be Grenfell season.
Well, another couple of weeks and it will be. 14th,
I mean, the times go. I mean, and also Feb's a really short month. So.
14th of February is not only beautiful Valentine's Day, but it also happens to be one of our markers, as in the 14th of the month. And so you on Portobello Radio will not be getting too much gushy love, and you'll be getting a certain amount
I
of...
can't stand the gushy love, so do away with that stuff, mate.
Okay. All right.
Not a fan of Valentine's Day, never have been.
Oh,
Ugh.
bless you. Really?
So icky. Ugh.
What about chocolate? Free chocolate. Num-nums.
No.
Okay.
In fact, my first child, the expected date of delivery was the 14th of February, and I said to everyone, I'll keep my legs crossed. There's no way that child's coming out.
Has anybody got a really big cork?
And luckily, my child didn't do that to me, but still, yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough. You were blessed.
I was blessed indeed.
But Portobello Radio at 7 o'clock, as always, 14th of every month, we'll be playing a series of poems and songs in remembrance of the tragedy down there, the tragedy, the murdering, the nightmare of the 14th of June 2017. So there you go. You get all your local business around here on portobelloradio.com. Keep it locked. BTW, anybody else signed up for Blue Sky?
Oh yeah, I've been on it for a while. I just haven't got really active on it because, like I said,
Why have you not
I got
been my
banned
friend?
off of X or Twitter or whatever. Nazi Twitter banned me a long time ago. I must have known it was going to turn out to be a Nazi thing. So
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? A gorgeous man on a motorbike has just turned up, which is amazing because it means Michael Speechley is nearly in the house. He's just about to walk in. Hang on. See what happens.
Yeah, you're listening to Portobello Radio.
Can you brush your shoes? Stand before the mirror. And you comb your hair. You grab your coat and laugh. And you walk wet streets trying to remember all the wild night breathers in your memory ever. And everything looks so complete when you're walking out on the street and the wind catches your feet, sends you flying, crying. Wild night is calling. Wild
Yeah, that is Van Morrison once of this neighbourhood. No one seems to have much good to say about him, but he was obviously a brilliant artist.
Sorry, who is that?
Van Morrison. He also wrote Bright Side of the Road, and can you put? He wrote Bright Side of the Road, and our co-host on Bright Side of the Road, Rosalind Scanlon.
Oh yes, news.
Last year, she is the director of programs at the Irish Cultural Centre. Works with us on Bright Side
And
of the Road.
she's a lovely, amazing woman.
Yeah, was a dramatist. What do you call them? Wrote theatre
Playwright.
plays. Wrote playwright.
Playwright, darling, playwright.
At the Royal Court through that whole trendy kind of period. Anyway, so last autumn she gets to be, she's made a freeman of the City of London. You know, that whole couldn't drive sheep across London Bridge.
I think Lofty
Right.
got made one of those too.
Maybe. Anyway.
Everybody's into the sheep driving these days.
So Ros was made a freeman of the city, and now she's just, this week she's been in Dublin getting something called the President's Award.
Do you know much about it? It sounds amazing, because I was like very excited.
I think you get it from the president. I think it's a big deal.
It is a really big deal.
The picture I saw was her and Seamus Coleman, who was, you know, obviously, as you'll all know, left back for Everton and the Republic of Ireland.
No, and we wouldn't all know. Some people never heard of him.
He had a distinguished international career for the Republic of Ireland.
Amazing. And so she's out there at the moment receiving her accolade.
I think she's received it. I think she is probably celebrating her accolade.
Good work.
maybe
Drinking some delicious Guinness.
No, I imagine if I know her, she'll be out scouting some fancy
wonderful
cultural thing to bring back.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if
The
you
Irish
go around,
Cultural
if you go
Centre.
around to all those pubs in Ireland, there's just amazing live music playing
Isn't
on
it?
you know, it's
Isn't it?
fantastic. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
big up
Yeah, but
Ros though. She deserves it. She's
Indeed.
amazing.
Big up, Ros. Bless her. Excellent. Absolutely excellent work.
Anyway, we are delighted to welcome to the show for the first time in I think quite a long time. It is Michael Speechley. Michael, hello. Have we got the right?
Oh, hello. Right, I'll bring you up now. And again, one more.
I can hear you.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Now, Michael, we've met you in many guises over the years, whether you were running Kindred Studios, couple of iterations, whether you were the original visual artist at the Acid House Clubs with your work in the V&A.
Yeah.
Whether you were helping to put the stage together for Portobello Film Festival, Westway Trust, Portobello Radio event.
Yeah, reopening the space that used to be the pop-up cinema.
Yeah, that went well. Anyway, moving swiftly.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly.
We missed the pop-up.
Yeah, no, we all do.
We really
do. We all do. Michael, you are now. We've talked before you could, while you were still out west. We've talked about the in-post and the outpost that the Muse has. The XYZs, one in the borough of Camden, in
Gray's Inn Road.
Gray's Inn Road.
Yeah.
You are in the outpost in Brentford, and someone was in here waxing lyrical about the gorgeous Thameside views.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a 3-story office block that looks out to the Thames, and we're right opposite Kew Gardens. And between us and Kew Gardens is an island called Lots 8.
Lots 8.
Lots 8.
Man, we were discussing it earlier.
Yeah.
We didn't know what the name of it was. Lots.
Lots 8. And
Lovely.
an 8 is an island in the tidal section of the Thames. So we can see the Thames going right down, and then it's super high at the moment. So, yeah.
Coincide with the new moon.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
So this is one of these spaces which is basically dedicated. It kind of builds on the idea of the residencies here, gives some artists some space. This is like a huge building full of space that's given over.
It was an art centre, so it's massive.
It's
Is
the
it?
office
I
block
didn't-
next to the art centre.
Yeah.
The art centre is currently closed.
Is that
So
Waterman's?
The Waterman's, yeah. And I remember going to the Waterman's when we were doing visuals with film and slide projectors, doing I think it was Giles Peterson event there, a long time ago. And we used
I
to
remember
go-
when it opened.
Yeah, we used to go and see bands. It was quite.
Well, I used to
a
go to
good-
the Red Lion, which was opposite. I was going there from the early 80s regularly.
These are your
Like-
Osterley days.
Yeah, when I lived in Austin, and lots of people I knew played in bands, in pubs, in the Red Lion, and when they opened that, like the Watermans, that was one of the first sort of art centres that I ever really
Yeah.
went to. I saw With
Yeah,
Nail
yeah.
and I in the cinema there when it first came out.
Yeah, it was
So
a good-
like
it
it was a really
good
great
facility,
spot.
yeah.
It really was.
The building I'm in is next door to it, and its last sort of commercial use was the Max Factor office block for the cosmetics company.
Right.
And then after that, it's
Glamorous.
been in different guises. It's been community-focused building. So 6 weeks ago, I think I moved in as a resident artist and collaborator with the Muse.
And a little bit of the Portobello Film Festival, who are also
Yeah,
in
so-
there, part of their digitisation project. Iona arrived earlier on, and Damien jumped onto her, trying to persuade her to become part of the Portobello Film Festival. Digitisation project.
Yeah, so Ray was in today, Dave is there, and JB. So they're my kind of
Digitising.
neighbours along the same section. And we also have Hank's archive there.
Right. Hank, of course,
Yes.
used to work for Lee Harris at
Lee Harris,
Alchemy.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And he was a kind of the world expert on Italian slasher movies. What's
Weird films, I would say.
Yeah.
So if
Films
you're,
are the weirdest things I've ever.
if you're a
I've- no,
weird
yeah,
film
weird
fan,
films.
Oh, what's he
there
called?
could
The
be a
guy,
Hank
the great
fest.
Italian slasher guy. He had a gorgeous daughter who became an actress. Oh, it'll come back to
well,
me.
that library is very like, you shut your eyes when you're watching a lot
Yeah.
of it. But yeah, that's kind of cool. And
Enough that you'll all get arrested one day?
possibly. But that section where I am, Dave, the film festival, that's where I'm building the audio-visual lab,
Yeah.
which is a kind of dedicated space for people to experiment with film, video, sound. Yeah, that kind of that type of facility.
It's kind of
that-
a bit Andy Warhol, right? It's a bit kind of, without wanting to get grandiose or pretentious, but it's like make space. In his case, he covered the walls with silver foil.
Yeah.
What have you done? You've got blackout curtains all the way around.
Yeah, blackout curtains because I'm a video person. But the main thing about it is like access to space. So you finish uni, uni's great. You have access to a lot of things, a lot of space, and then you leave and you don't really have access to anything. And then later in life, you may decide to take up an artistic practice and you're working on your kitchen table. How do you expand that? So this is an idea of having a shared space so I can kind of reach out and ask people to come in. I did it when I was at the Dissenters Chapel up in the cemetery, Kensal Green Cemetery. I would invite people in for the day and I say, bring everything you need and your lunch, but I'll give you a space.
Yeah,
So-
for those who don't know, Dissenters Chapel, well, it's still there.
Still there, yeah.
It's the chapel on the Ladbroke Grove, just on the bridge bit of the cemetery, Kensal Green Cemetery. And you were the kind of creative director or artistic curator, whatever. You were something there, anyway.
Artist in residence, I
Yeah.
guess. I was there for a year. I just approached them and said, look, no one's using it. Can I come in and use it? And amazingly, they said yes.
Octavia did a project.
Yeah, I
waking the dead, and they
Yeah.
focused a lot on the Dissenters Chapel as well, and
Yeah.
some of the people, because there's amazing people who are like atheist or whatever who are,
Yeah, so
who are
I
buried in
worked
there.
on that project.
Oh, you did as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
and in that project there was...
You did your own triptych about grief, if I remember right.
Yeah, there's a project that I work on which is about dementia, my mother's dementia. But I worked on a project for Octavia, which was a storytelling project where I created a shrine, big mausoleum shrine that went on a kind of road trip, and you would write a little message about someone you'd lost and hang it on the outside. Or if it was a private message, you'd post it inside the mausoleum. And Octavia sent it around on a road trip, and it went into Tate Britain as a kind of piece in their outreach program. That went back to the cemetery and has now disintegrated and faded back into the ground with all of the messages unread inside it, which is that was a really nice project.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great being there.
Future's not unwritten; it's unread.
It's unread. Well, I asked Octavia if I could float it down the canal and set a light to it like a Viking.
Oh, that would have been brilliant.
But they were a little bit worried about that.
Oh, you should have done it anyway.
Yeah,
It involved flames, I guess.
Flames, yeah. And
that reminds me of that amazing film with Billy. Oh God, what's the Scottish? Billy Connolly, and he plays somebody who's actually, I think, got dementia. Yeah, that's like that's reminded me of that.
Yeah. So the kind of the piece that I've done about my mother is that was presented the last time in the catacombs in the dissenters, and that's a big ice block that is suspended off of a long piece of rope, and the rope represents the number of years my mother had the illness, like 12 years, and the ice block melts, and all the little droplets of ice, water, represents the little micro strokes that she would have with vascular dementia. So they happen all the time.
We know about vascular dementia quite well. Yeah.
So all the little droplets would hit this collection plate that had guitar pickups on it, and then a PA system, and projection equipment. So when the droplet of water hits the collection plate, you get a flash of light, and a gunshot is fired into the space.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that kind of, it's like the shock of what's happening to your body.
Wow.
And then the water is collected and refrozen, so you could have a closed loop circle, and that was my kind of regeneration from the grieving. So that for me was a really good piece to develop.
Yeah.
Because it was sort of helped you kind of recover from that.
Well, not only from your perspective, but other people's perspective. I think you're doing other people's therapy there because there's some great metaphors.
I think that's called catharsis.
It works really well as a sort of piece of engineering, and because people can engage with it just as a kind of object.
But I love the sound of the gunshot going off. That sounds like actually I can really get the sense of what that must be like in your brain.
Yeah, so in my mother's situation, so the first time we realised there was something wrong, she stopped buying the newspaper because she couldn't count the change. So, that was something she was worried about, so she wouldn't go to the shop. So that's a tiny change, small change. But then, when she stopped being able to communicate, that's a big change. So the gunshots are kind of like, sometimes they'll be loud, but if you get multiple drops at the same time, the volume changes depending on kind of how many drops. But I'd said to Damien, I said, this project sounds really cool. You're doing Gray's Inn. What else are you doing? I'll come and run the building. And he said, oh, no, don't do that. Come and take a studio and do some work. Because I'm sort of tend to be quite a busy person, and I don't get many chances to make my own work. And so I was really pleased that
that's because you're always organising. I mean, there's been twice I remember you've run a Kindred.
Once I ran a Kindred, but it was big, so 175 artists. Yeah. And
artists are like managing 175 of them. And it's not going to give you much time for your own anything.
Exactly. And I've got 43 acts tomorrow, for Bait West.
Right. Okay. Now this is why we're
Yeah.
here. Actually.
At last, blimey.
At last.
I've been hanging on here. I've been hanging on every word. Go for it. Crack on, sir.
Yeah, so we're doing something tomorrow. So
Tomorrow's Saturday. Saturday
Saturday.
the 1st. Get your tax return in if you're listening on the Friday.
Yeah, tick, I've done that. So to give some background, last Christmas, I decided to stop doing events. So if you don't know kind of my background, Piers mentioned it earlier, but I'm a visual kind of artist, a VJ. Last few years been working on private parties, kind of big budget private parties, doing custom dance floors with immersive visuals. I'm getting older. I've done it for like 38 years. I've decided to stop. So I kind of stopped doing events last year, had a year kind of reset. And now I'm back into the stuff that I really enjoy, which is the experimental kind of sound and visuals area. So I arrive at the new XYZ at Brentford, start establishing my studio, kind of on the basis I'm going to build an AV lab and do the experimental work. And so we have our first output on Saturday, tomorrow, the 1st of Feb. We have 4 curators, myself, Ethan, which is Speech Muse, who is doing events at XYZ in Gray's Inn. Ealing.
People will have met him first on this show as the guy that runs the listening walks, the ones through
the
the
listening
canal.
walks, yeah.
And then he followed Aidan McManus, did a walk around for around Nottingdale for Sounds of Latimer, which was followed a couple of hours later by Ethan doing a listening walk around exactly the same trail.
It was a magnificent idea. You did come up with some gems, sir, and I mean we've got it all on tape.
Yeah, the
which is
listening.
brilliant.
I've joined in with the listening walks a few times and taken a bag full of microphones to give people an experience of kind of deep listening, where you listen to things that you can't generally hear. So, you know, underwater hydrophones, microphones that you know, you have a magnet so you can stick them on bridges, and kind of electroacoustic microphones. So different ways of listening to things that it's a little bit hard to imagine kind of the deeper sound.
So what if people come to, first of all, tomorrow, by tomorrow again we say Saturday, we're in Brentford. We'll tell people in a minute how to get there. What's the time scale? Is it a daytime through evening, or
well?
And when they come, what is it?
So first off, you know, what is it? So I hadn't quite got there. So we had the other 2 curators, Martin, who's running a project in Ealing called Ealing Extra Normal, and that's kind of like Cafe Otto, which is Cafe Otto is a really well-known experimental sound venue. It's like that, but in Ealing, and it's kind of very underground and kind of it's not hidden. It's, you know, it's kind of,
if you know,
but
you
if
know.
you know, because you know, experimental sound and moving image is kind of a bit niche, or very niche. So Martin's been running this fantastic night, really amazing kind of artists, and then Ronnie Dealan, who I kind of collaborate with and work with at the RCA, has a project called White Noise, and I came across White Noise because they were running sessions at the Media City down in Shepherd's Bush. Great kind of participation type kind of events where you bring all your own equipment, just rock up, plug in, make a noise, and everyone does it at the same time. And we just did one in St John's in Bethnal Green with 27 artists. So all different ways of making sound. You could use your voice, you could use you know, regular instruments, modular synthesizers, kind of. I had a
Is
electro.
modular? That's the thing Steve Davis, the snooker player, likes, isn't
Yeah.
it? The modular
Yeah,
synthesizer.
strangely.
Steve Interesting Davis.
Yeah, so my
No, but it's a kind of weird synthesizer, which is
it's all small components that you join it together to make a big synthesizer. So you can buy a synthesizer which is just complete, and it's all wired underneath, invisibly under the hood. But a modular synth, you do all the wiring outside, so you plug everything together.
Wow.
Like a big patch bay.
Like a big patch bay. And I'm not a musician. I kind of tend to make sort of more textural type sounds, and a modular synth works for me, so I can build different kind of
neural networks.
Colours. You build colours
it's
to
like
the sound, don't
colours
you?
of
You know,
sound.
yeah.
So I did. Well, okay, let's go back to the event.
How AV is the day? Because I was under the impression the whole day was kind of audio visual. Visual.
There's
is
a
it
real
just audio?
There's a real mixture, but so there's visual artists and there's sound artists and there's performers.
Sound and vision, they go together, don't they?
So
it's a Bowie
it's
moment.
AV,
It is. I like it.
but audio visual often it's kind of better to describe it as sound art and moving image, because audio visual there's a bit of it's quite a big broad kind of description. So we have people they'll have a fixed position, they'll turn up, they'll grab a table, chairs, bring their equipment, their rucksack, set up, and at 6 o'clock everyone starts playing. And they're spread around the building. It's a big building.
So 6 is the big moment.
6 o'clock is when the audience can come in and see what we're doing. So, I've done an installation art piece using the microphone that I brought. Now, I don't know if we can...
This is kind of slightly doing my night in, but go on then. Shall I pull down everybody else and just have the microphone that you brought in, your weird...
Yeah,
weird
now, it's going to be a bit weird because I can't listen to it. This is... Oh, okay. So that was me just running my fingernail across the table. Piers has got it right. It's an earthquake mic. So this is super sensitive. I did bring another thing to boost its signal, but it was a bit wild.
It's all a bit wild.
It's all a bit wild. So
I'm having problems on the desk here.
Yeah. So
that is Michael scratching the desk that we're the physical table that we're all sat at with his fingernail. So it's super sensitive, this thing, isn't it?
it's
great.
crazy.
It's great. It's a bit like the reverse of listening to music in the swimming pool, or am I being weird?
So I'm going to be listening to the building tomorrow.
When you're underwater.
Yeah, when you're underwater and
like
someone's
a-
underwater speakers, it's kind of the reverse of that, isn't it? So I don't know if I sort of pull everyone down.
I'll listen to the building tomorrow. I have a sort of an installation which is all about the project. So it's all about kind of these projects that Damien is working with, how it kind of, the struggle of the artist, kind of trying to find spaces where they can do their development, their experimentation, and sometimes you get help, you get lift, and it makes life easier, but sometimes when you get a lift, it's also a little bit harder. So you might get funding, but the funding runs out. You might get a building, the building disappears. It's a very, being an artist is a very
Precarious?
sort of tricky, precarious.
Precarious? Can I say precarious?
Precarious, yeah. It's a difficult path to take.
That's
and
quite annoying, that microphone.
Yeah. Is it still there on your your cans? Yeah. No, turn
Take
it off.
down, mate.
All right, okay, all right.
Turn it off, 'cause
I quite like that. That was a good audio experiment, actually. 'cause,
No,
you know,
not
listen,
really.
Oh, come on.
Well, it's not.
Oh,
it
come
could be
on.
musical if you had the right kind of.
We had the right table for a start, not this
interactive-
plastic table. Maybe
This
we
is
had
not a musical table.
Yeah, we need a nice wooden table that we can just scroll along.
We have there's a website for the event called baitwest.oppositefields.com.
Is that bait as in fish bait?
Okay, it's a bait. The word bait is B for bring your own, and 8 is an island.
Oh, I see. Right.
So we, as artists, kind
That's
of
quite clever, really, isn't
That
it?
is.
Sorry, I can't.
'Cause I was
can't
thinking-
help it, but
I was thinking of bait as in,
Yeah, fishing bait.
No,
you know.
roadman speak. That's bait.
Oh,
You
yeah,
get me,
okay,
blood,
yeah,
don't
well,
let
there's
me
a
out
lot
kind
of things
thing,
going
you know.
on with that.
right.
So B for bring your own, B for Brentford, bait because like we're in West London, we're doing something interesting. This is the bait to try and attract you to come and see us. We're kind of both me and Martin's in Ealing, I'm in sort of Kensal. We're both really passionate about trying to get things going in West London. It's kind of tricky sometimes getting an audience.
So, just back to the event for a moment. So there we are, Saturday. I've queued up, 6 o'clock. I get in to the space. Am I in amongst the artists? Am I the audience and they're the artists? What's that interaction going to be
You're
like?
in amongst the artists. You
find
will
a
use
space
the
where you can.
Yeah, you'll use the website to. The website is effectively a directory. So when the artists arrive, they get their table and the chair. They decide where they're going to go. Then we map that location into the website. So you'll be on the first floor, location 1, for instance.
Oh right, so it's not
Yeah.
on one. It's like multiple floors.
Oh God,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
the place is
Okay.
big, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
it's across-
yeah, it's
it's
really.
It's across 3 floors.
It's a bit of a labyrinth, actually.
Yeah. So
It is, but we didn't know who's actually going to be using all of the floors,
Oh,
just
right,
the ground
right,
floor,
yeah.
possibly, because
Well-
we've been all the way up the top and all the way back
Yeah,
down the bottom again,
the artists
haven't we?
could be in a contained room. They might be in one of the art studios,
Yeah.
or they might be in what we jokingly call the wedding room, which is the top floor.
Okay.
Which is huge. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't know. We managed to break in there. Did we break in there?
No, I missed.
I wasn't
missed
involved.
loads of it. I missed.
Yeah.
I went with Damien to see it,
The,
so yeah.
the
but
top floor
I
room is
wasn't
the same size as the gallery room.
Brilliant.
Yeah, big room.
Brilliant.
Um,
Amazingly massive space.
Michael,
Love it.
we're just going to play a record.
Good
and then We're
idea.
going to get back, and we're just going to get everyone in the groove for what they can expect when they get there
Yes.
tomorrow.
Okay, let's listen to something.
Black and been here since 1949. West London jaw grind, take it easy. We saw him, you saw him, walking along the canal last night. And what a joy to buck up upon him at the carnival today. To hear him speak about the dances and the bands at the Paramount. spots you couldn't mix with white in or dance in. Remembering London. How we been slapped so hard with the lash, Sam Salvon say. And it take him 60 years before he could call England home. He must have come here in black and white, 1959, time longer than twine. So long ago, he don't remember being a child. Just a suit and steamer trunk upon a ship which took a good 6 weeks to cruise. We sat at his kitchen table, and I filmed him on the sly, but he wasn't saying much. At least nothing I could put in a poem. Instead, he showed me photographs. With the dashiki and the fez with Michael X at the ambience. Outside, the night came in, and we had moved so far away from calling England home. I've lived here longer than home. Since 1989. Remember Harlesden in the springtime? I used to walk from Cricklewood to Marylebone High Street, to cut up meat, to punch out dough. I was never asked to wait tables or to serve scones or coffee. I worked in the basement. But I soon learned to tie my apron in a way which retained some dignity. And in my first summer above the corner shop, I listened to Rare Groove on pirate radio. I was flung so far from any notion of nation. How long do you have to live in a place before you can call it
Yeah, Anthony Joseph. But you know, this is called Calling England Home. But what I love about this is the title of the album. The rich are only defeated when running for their lives.
Yeah, that is a...
Take note, people, take
that's
note.
An absolutely brilliant record. I can't... Can you remember who he is and what the background to that?
I can't remember anything
Anyway,
about it.
we'll
But
come
he
up
was
with it
on
in a
something recently. He was interviewed about how he was just doing his thing, and then the next thing he was like a big thing kind of thing. So I think he was a regular guy, basically.
Fantastic.
Lovely, lovely mookie bit of jazz.
Yeah, we are here at the Muse Gallery in the midst of the Muse Residents' first show, opening show. We're talking to Michael Speechley, who's at XYZ Brentford, which is, it's a kind of expanded version, isn't it, of what goes on with the three young artists working around the back there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Damien describes it as a project space. So there is a big gallery space, huge gallery space, but I quite like that description as a project space, because when I kind of look at these buildings, I want many people to use them, not just a small select amount of people. So if you have a project, you could come in, maybe you're there for 3 months and you prepare it ready to go out to the gallery. And then maybe you hand that space over to the next person. So
in the state you found it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's the, you know, when you have studio spaces and you have the same person in the same studio year after year after year, that means no one else gets an opportunity. And if it's run on a project basis, that means you can do your project. You might get funded for something that's a 3 or 6 months project. Then someone else can come in and use that space. And that's much more kind of democratic and efficient. You don't have
fluid.
someone effectively using a cheap studio space for storage.
Yeah, which is what always happens.
Which is what happens.
It's a great model, actually, and very much needed, because as you said earlier, this is literally what happens. People come out of uni, they have had to use 3 or 4 years of space, and then they've got nothing, and now, you know, so it's a brilliant idea, really good model.
You know, to have a good turnover, and also the collaborators in the building. So I'm a sort of artist, but also a collaborator. So
you kind of bounce off each other and stuff.
Yeah, I will bring in people to share my space. So although I have a studio, you know, I might invite people in to come and have a space. If I know they've got a small studio, they can come and enjoy a big space, and maybe their work will change. And we saw this in lockdown, where people had to shrink back and their work changed. Instead of doing big paintings, they started doing miniature things because they were on their kitchen table.
Well, I mentioned it last week because I remember someone saying that, you know, when they were talking about space, if you wanted to do a huge canvas, like, where can you get a space that you could actually paint, you know, something that will, you know, see in a gallery, basically, in, you know, in the Tate or something.
Well, the answer is go down to
Brentford, innit?
Go down to Brentford on Saturday, find out what's going on. It is a fantastic hub of creativity, of organisation, of support systems and basic infrastructure. We went down there once on the kind of opening. It was celebrating 20 years of the Muse residency. It was the most recent bus. We took the bus just as far as Brentford. It was a fantastic evening. I didn't even see the half of it. I didn't get on the lovely terrace overlooking
the
Lot 8.
The 8.
Yeah, Lot 8.
I mean, that is a really iconic space, because, you know, when young people from that area, when we were young, people would go out there and, you know, try and get to the island, and people had boats, and we had lots of things going on those boats, lots of parties and sessions and stuff.
I told you, bit boho down there, bit bohemian.
Well, it's really changed now,
Well,
Brentford.
no, now it is, but back then it was,
super.
It was not, you know, when I first, bloody hell, in 1977, 78, it was rough.
Yeah, the money going into Brentford is pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, if you see the cost of flats out there now, I mean, you couldn't have given the flat away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Brilliant. We could go on about Brentford. We could go on about what's going on tomorrow for another couple of hours. However, we're running out of time, babes. Okay. We got literally 8 minutes to go. My God, before we all explode.
We haven't got that much to say about what's going on this weekend compared to previous weeks.
You're right. We have been
I've got something going
busy chickens. You've always got something going on, sister. Yeah, we've been busy chickens since mid-December, maybe. You know, every weekend has been roadblock with one gig or another. Thanks to all you beautiful people, including you, Mr. Speechley.
There's one thing that I had my friend Ben Miles DJing after we do our crazy music, and Ben, I don't know if you recognize that name. Ben is an actor, and often he's DJing with Toby Jones, the other actor, and they just both love music. They're super busy with their acting, but they have a collective which is just actors that are DJs in their spare time. So he's going to play some tunes after.
Bro.
And when will that
Yeah.
be?
Cool.
From 6 to 8, that's the artist kind of experimental kind of output. And then from 8 to 10, we have a cool down period. And that's kind of designed so whoever's performing, we can all get together and just kind of network, have a chat,
Bro.
a cool down.
Yeah, man.
Often you
Love
do
it.
an event and then you just pack up and go home. You don't meet anyone.
Yeah.
And I did that for years and years when I was sort of VJing. I would be out on a Saturday, never ever meet any other VJs.
Wow. Brilliant.
Until VJ London started. And
Yeah.
that was great.
So there you go. Catch up with all of that on Saturday. Is it the 1st of February?
It is
Yeah,
indeed.
man.
Pinch and punch.
Pinch
tomorrow.
Punch, and the first day of the month, indeed. Saturday, the 1st of February, also kicks off on Portobello Radio with this show repeating at midday. So tune in at midday to catch this show. Followed up on the first weekend of the month, we have a fantastic lineup, don't we, Piers? Every month.
Well, it's Lilybud first.
It's Lilybud. Come on.
Lilybud is the stepdaughter of Richard Strange, whose amazing play, The Black Square, has been going on at the Courtyard Theatre.
Brilliant.
In Old Street, Pitfield Street.
Oh, amazing.
It's the final night, Saturday. So if you're listening on Friday, there's a show tonight, matinee tomorrow, and a show tomorrow night. I feel so guilty. I haven't been down there.
So it's Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Richard
No,
Strange, but
Friday and Saturday.
Oh, Friday and Saturday. Sorry, if you're listening
Double
Sunday
show
morning,
Saturday,
then you
though.
have missed it. Lilybud on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, followed by Sonida Santo with a bit of luck.
Yeah.
Our
No,
most-
it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. I love it. Our most adorable Carlos de la Cruz is going to be sending in some wonderful Latin sounds.
His set last month was amazing cumbia, followed by amazing salsa. It was
He's
absolutely
just amazing. You can almost
pinging.
smell the mezcal. I love it, absolutely love it. After him, we got a little bit of a mystery DJ. We're not too sure what we're going to slot in that slot at the moment. Followed by that one at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's because that was going to be Pandiva, but she's got a great interview subject, and she wanted some time to promote it properly. So
Yeah, she did. You're absolutely bang on. 1700 hours barcodes, or the codes, as they're now known. Wonderful conscious hip hop from Loose and
wild
Nico.
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't
Most
like
conspiracies turn out to be true.
that. Yeah, true. So there you go. True, not true, who knows? Fake news all over the place. We love it. Neville Hyde, 40-something disco at 6 o'clock. 1800 hours.
Yeah, that's the last one before the next disco, which is on Valentine's Day, February the 14th.
You extracted the words from my mouth.
There are tickets left, but they're running out quick. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like going Taylor Swift now, going to the
Isn't it?
40-something disco.
It's better than that. I can tell you from experience.
Anything's better than that.
Anything's better than that. So after Neville Hyde, Liam Chu. Wow, we heard him live down at the Tabernacle a couple of weeks ago, and
We're
is
holding
doing
those sets back, aren't
the
we?
original Soul Boy. Yeah, man. Yeah, we played them on the weekend, but yeah, absolutely. And then Enzo. Is Enzo sending something in?
Oh, he's supposed to, but I don't think he has.
Nothing yet. So who knows what's going to happen at 2000 hours. So all of that crap is repeated again on Sunday at exactly the same time. However, preceding it, we have this show at 8 a.m. I love this. And then this is Sunday morning, Portobello Talk Radio. Dick O'Dell has his adventures in music continuing for about the 5th year. That man is astounding, absolutely astounding.
Yeah,
we
we're
love
into
him.
mid to late 70s.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know how many more shows he's going to be able to make for us, but we will wheel him in a coffin if we have to. God love him. So he's going to be doing his faves part 5. There's a lot of these super fave selections from him, but it is actually really cool. Very, very good. I can't remember. It's sort of late 70s is the era that we're looking at there. Then, of course, unveiling of the stone that we had the stones for Joe Strummer that we had last Saturday. We're going to be repeating that at midday on Sunday. So it's going to be a really cool lineup from 8 a.m. in the morning. That's UK time, of course. And then, again, all those DJs we mentioned before will then kick off. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be great fun. Keep it locked to Portobello Radio, but if you're bored of us,
yeah, if you want a little break
yeah.
and it's cold and raining and nasty outside and you want to get away and get some Trini music, myself and Amber are doing a 2-hour show. Calypso and Soca, we're taking you on a journey from the old stuff right up, and that will be on Ferferity Radio with me, the Eclectic Goddess, at 4 till 6 p.m.
Come on, come
in.
in.
So take a little break and just listen to some Trini music now.
Live and direct from South London.
Yeah,
I love
take
it.
a little
Absolutely
wine
love
and
it.
ting,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Chill.
Absolutely. Spark up a doobie.
So, of course, eclectic. Apparently, we're getting version excursion number 2, not before
Yes,
too
I will.
long.
I will be doing another version excursion for you guys because I love finding versions.
Ah,
I love them.
Brilliant.
All
Absolutely
right,
brilliant.
thank you very much for listening
Yes,
to
indeed.
Portobello Radio. Thank you for listening for the last 10 years. Thank you for
Oh yes,
getting on
10
board
years
for the
on.
next decade.
We's big now. We's grown.
I think so. I think so.
We's
Maybe.
big people.
Yeah.
No, we're looking forward to a brand new future with loads of young people who
I
can
know.
take
Isn't it
on
getting? Isn't it amazing? All the
to
young
a
ones
new
coming in.
place.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's the future.
It is.
Greg,
they
why
are the
don't you
future.
play a tune? You never get to play a
Ah,
tune.
really? I never do. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, all right. I'll stick something on.
That's very kind of you, Pierce.
Yeah,
to
isn't
allow
it?
to-
How
I mean, my
generous.
God.
How very,
I
very
can't
generous.
believe it.
The last 30 seconds
No.
of the show, you will hear the most incredible tune from Gregsy.
No, we played Jimmy Jazz all last weekend just for you. Oh, Michael,
true,
thank
actually.
you so much for
Michael
being with us.
Sweetley, our wonderful guest. Yes,
Pleasure.
catch up with him.
If you want to meet Michael in the
Yeah,
flesh,
IRL.
get down there.
And if you want to
Come
hear that
back.
strange
come
microphone,
tomorrow.
you might hear it tomorrow, I gather.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be proper
You
weird.
won't be able to avoid it.
Proper weird. Oh.
And thank you for watching on YouTube.
Yeah, bye YouTube. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend, you guys, for listening. Thank you guys for listening for the last 10 years, if indeed you have. And if you've only just found us, then well, welcome aboard. Welcome to Chaos.
You're
It's
stuck,
fun.
you're stuck for the next 10 years.
Yeah, man. Not off. Love it. Absolutely love it. Take care. Have a great weekend. Thank you, everybody.